Good morning, Pen fam. How we doing? How are we doing? Everyone is fired up this Tuesday morning. It feels like a Monday morning, the way everyone's just jumping in, raring to go in the chat. Momo Crafting, Brooks, Toasty Tree, Borkenborg, Schmevelin, Jerica, Inkwell Monster, Needle Girl. I'm gonna miss everybody. Power Belly, Rescue Monkey. I'm already coughing. Tessa with the 28 months of subbing, Brooks with the 20 months of subbing, Schmevelin with the 34 months of subbing. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Slumberland Studio, get composted. I missed you. I missed people. I'm sorry. Greg with the Go Dogs. I guess I have my red and black on today, even though I'm not like technically a Georgia fan, right? I'm just I am happy for Georgia, being that that's where we live, and we did need the drama of them losing last night. Good morning, Jackie, Miss G's Crafties, Coco Lena. Haircut, yes, we got a fresh shave. Brought out the gray in the cut. So yeah. Evan, JD Lady, tax work lurk. I hear you. It's that time of the year. It's the time of the year for me to almost have an incident, pre-stream incident. I was trying to fill up my custom 74 teal. Who just said they got the custom 74 teal just a second ago? Schmevelin with the 5 gifted subs. Let's go. Thank you so much, Schmevelin. That is a lot of gifted subs. You are awesome, Schmevelin. Thank you for being awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Schmevelin is the GOAT. Back to distance learning. I saw the California numbers this morning. Just in the general California outbreak numbers. And it was like a stupid amount of numbers. So y'all be safe out there. Please, 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 please. The Gray Temples is a good look. Well, let's just say it's unplanned. It just happens to work out that way. So, but hey, I am lucky in that I've had to wait a long time for gray hairs, right, to show up. So I am very lucky in the hair department for my age. It's what keeps me looking young and fresh. Young and fresh. But thank you so much, Schmelvin, for the gifted subs. Hope y'all are having a good morning. We are still in the fountain pen review and inking mode. We're going to look at a new batch of fountain pens today. Ink up 2 more. We're gonna choose two to pick. Spoiler alert: I've already chosen one of them. But we'll go through that skateboarder look. Yeah, man. So yeah, almost like I shot the Pilot Con 70 converter in the custom 74. This new Con 70 converter blows chunks. Like, it's not a good converter. So to fill in the pen, like, it's good capacity, it's good when it's in the pen, but you pretty much have to syringe fill it if you want a full fill, or even like a half fill. So I did that this morning right before stream. I was like, oh, let me do this real quick. You know, when you try to do real quick, basically I somehow flicked the cartridge and like ink splattered. It's probably on my shirt, but this is a good shirt to get ink splatters on. You can't really see. It's just then like 1, 2, 3, 4 different spots on my hands now, just like right out the gate. So cool. So that's like a thing. Sorry, tea drinkers. Sorry, tea drinkers. That converter doesn't suck. No, it does not. It sucks to fill when you're trying to do it with the nib dipped into the ink bottle. So syringe fill it and you'll be much happier. I love the Con 70. I just don't like filling it. First grays in my early 20s. Yuck. Con 70 always seemed like a gimmick to me. It's their best converter in my opinion, because a lot of Pilot's pens are lightweight, and that converter gives just this little tiny fraction of weight into the pens that I prefer, especially when you're using like a custom 74 that is just plastic from top to bottom, and it's very, very light. That Con 70 gives it a little bit of extra feel in the pen, so I really, really like it. Found my lost Kaweco AL Vibrant Violent over the weekend. Nice, get a pet. Fatico, thank you for the follow, appreciate you. Got my giveaway prize, which also happens to be my first fountain pen. Do you have any lefties have any ink recommendations, preferably in a fun color. So yeah, syringe fill everything. I know. I was at my desk. I was being lazy the first day, and I was like, oh, it's a Con 70. Like, I can at least get this halfway full. Nope, just didn't do it. Hey, Brad, there was a problem with the Faber-Castell on Doro I won from your membership. When I saw that, I had a panic attack at first. Shortly after it arrived, my wife realized it's her new favorite pen and promptly took it, going to need to ask for a new one. It's funny you say that, because I need to email the other person who won, because they haven't claimed theirs yet. So you never know what might happen. A teeny bird, whatever color you don't mind being on your hands. That is factually correct. Rich Sticks with the 500 bits. Thanks so much, Rich Sticks. I started going gray at 18. Now I'm mostly silver at 34 underneath the die anyway because I refuse. I hear you. I hear you. Oof. So, I was trying to make some space on my desk. I had to, like, all of these pens and stuff were just laying on my desk, like just scattered about. So I went and stole this pencil cup. I had it filled with pencils. I took all the pencils out of the Closet of Doom in this, put them in another place so I could use this cup in here, just to get stuff off the desk from stop rolling around so we can actually do these. Oh, that's funny. We were on like a hype train level 3, and then it gives you like the level 1 emote. So it's like, okay, hype cool. That is a cool emote though. I got hype cool. I like that one. It's like a little dolphin. I'm getting a few grays in my beard. The beard grays started before the hair grays, right? You can see the beard grays. Those definitely start first for me. All right, so let's bust out some pens. What do you think? I haven't totally got the setup going yet this morning, so let's work on that. But I was busy cleaning off the desk. That was the point I was making a minute ago. But now it's going to bother me. I didn't realize there's like a rodeo logo on here, right? So I want that in the front, but I put the tall pins in the front, and the tall pins have to go in the back. So I'm gonna have to redo this real quick. This is what you tune in for, chat. Brad obsesses over things that don't matter. This is why you're here. Adam Barg, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But the markers go together, and the pencils and Sharpies and go together, and these fountain pens and stuff go together, and then the other pens go together. And now the rodeo logo can face me properly. Let's see. Let's switch these around again. Y'all are really missing out my mood this morning. We are on our A game. Let's see here. Let's see if this is acceptable. All right. I think that's more acceptable now. Sorry. Just have to do these things. Obsessing over things that don't matter to make for quality reviews. Yeah, totally. Took me about 4 hours to clean my pens, 29 of them. What are you doing? Adam Barg, welcome. 100% recommend teal hair dye. That's probably, like, if I ever dyed my hair, it's going to be like teal or like that, kind of like that grayish purple, you know, like that kind of, that lighter purple, lilac-y purple. So, Pen Addict, what fountain pen brands are worthy as an heirloom so that I can pass it down to my kids? I mean, the first thing I think of is probably like a Pelican, right? Like, I'd get a really good quality Pelican, like a 600 or 800 series. They're going to last forever. And they're not as boring as like a Mont Blanc would be, which is what a lot of people think about when heirloom. Like, the quality of the Mont Blanc should be fine. I would rather having something a little more unique, like a Pelican. The Visionaire. I forgot the Visionaire. But I would look at like a Pelican, and then I'd look at like Aurora, for some of their pens. But I would just really lean towards a Pelican or a Nikkaya. Yeah, like a Nikkaya would be a really good one. If you're personally into that style of pen, there's going to be some love marks in the Nikkaya, if you will, by the time you are ready to pass it down, that are going to be really special to you, knowing that your hands use that pen. is something you'll see in Nikayas a lot, right? Over time, just that lacquered urushi finish, it's going to take on some different characteristics that you wouldn't see in a brand new pen. So yeah, that's a really great option there, Toasty Treat. I like that. Lunalesh, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. My kid is getting the Homo sapiens Bronze Age. That's a good one because like I do like that idea of like, if I'm going to use something for 20 or 30 years and hand it down, I don't want it to look brand new when I give it there. Even though like that's kind of impressive that if I use something a lot and it still looks really, really new, you want to have these stories built into these products that you would hand down, right? So I think that's is as important as the product itself is the story that you're handing down. So you got to think about that. My daughter's getting the Iopena. That would be great. Good morning, Molly. How are you? All right, let's get into some pens because I'm anxious. I'm anxious this morning. I want to get some of these pens inked up, but we got to go through them first. Like we did. If you were here last Thursday, I took out a couple of trays of pens, went through them and chose a couple to ink up. I'm sticking with the same inks I had last week. I still have this Tasha Fukai Hanada, which looks like a bright blue. And then Roaring Klinger Alt Gold Green, which I'm definitely going to use. So let me get this. That is not the page. This is the page. Smand. Good morning, Eliana. All right, I think we might need a Smand relocation for now. Let's do this. Smand relocation. I'm on the Smand relocation committee at work, and I normally vote against moving the Smands, but today we're going to have to move the Smands. We're going to have to move this man's Smand. All right, we're in cigar boxes today, chat. All right, so this is the next. The Smand is the real heirloom. That's true. I love that the command for Smand is Smand, so when you say Smand, there's just an echo. It's the best. All right, so what do we got going on here? So there is a pen in here I'm planning on. I have predetermined that I would like to ink up. Get all this stuff out of here. You're free to guess which it is. But for those unaware, let's go through these. So these are two very, very bright orange vanishing points. Smamanda, nice. So this is the Bungu Box Energia vanishing point. This is very recently used and loved, so I'm not going to be inking that up. I know you told us on the last stream, but where did you get the Cigar Box pen case? So it's a gentleman named Bama Bearcat who might not be having the best of days today after the Alabama loss last night. So he has a website. Just search Bama Bearcat. I don't know if he like actively lists things for sale. I don't actually know his current status, but just Google Bama Bearcat and you should be able to find his website. But I always pick these up. He would come to the Atlanta Pen Show, right? Since he's just one state over, and I'd just pick him up from him locally. So that's where I got him. I really like them. I've had these for a long time. This is the limited edition. I don't know what year they did this orange one, but I have this one. I have the box that it came in. I don't know if you've ever seen the box that this one came in. It's this really like a little fancy, looks like an Hermes box or something like that with that color, with that orange color. So this is that limited edition one. Do I have a nib unit in here? I usually take the nib units out, but this one feels like it's got one in it. Yeah. Fine. So if I have like the limited edition ones like these, I'll keep the nib units in them. Like this one has extra fine in it. And if you ever have the 2007, oh, got nice. So I bought mine like 4 or 5 years ago. I got a good deal on it. They're really, really hard to find. Now, hang on, let me check this text. So yeah, those are my two orange vanishing points. And then I have the black faceted vanishing point, which is a great one. This one's from the 90s. If you usually take the nib units out, how do you store the nib units? So I was just looking this morning. I have another box that has like some plastic vials in it. Think like half this size. So like a vial about like this that is long enough to keep that full nib unit in. So something kind of like that, and I'll just wrap it in something and put it in here so it's not rattling around. So it slides in there since it's long and skinny. This is one of the classic vanishing points. This one's from the 90s. This is the plastic barrel, full faceted, kind of black stealth. I did get this nib modified. It's got the original nib unit. And they see they have the gold trim on these old nib units. Yeah, best VP. And this one, what did it have originally? Medium. So it originally was a medium nib that I got like a cursive italic grind on. I haven't inked this one up in a while. I'm not going to ink this up today. Good morning, Rewizzles. So yeah, so you have this length of nib unit in just like a tube like this, you know, wrap it up somehow. If you want, you don't have to. You just don't want to bang it around. At least I don't. I got the black VP in 97. Yeah. So they've done a couple of different ones. Gurface, what's up, buddy? 11 months of subbing. I see your Instagram posts and I just get cold looking at them. So I just wanted you to know that. So yeah, this was in the 90s. They have this one with the silver trim too. So the same black faceting, but with silver hardware. So silver clip, silver nose cone. I think silver ring. Does it have a silver knock? I can't remember if it has a silver knock. So I can't remember. Hey, good morning, Ryan. So those were the two options. And then they had burgundy faceted, also with the silver trim. Did they do green, like a forest green faceted with the silver trim? But this was the only one with the black trim. It's a balmy 23 now. Jeez. Yeah, but you're running in it like the madman that you are. Pilot Murex, one of the greatest pens of all time. My personal favorite. This would probably make like a top 5 personal pens list for me, if not like top 2 or 3. Good morning, Thunder Viking. I don't use it enough. I probably should like always have it inked up, right? Just because it's that good of a pen for me and how I write. I like the fully integrated nib. This one's a fine. You could get, yeah, Murex over the Mew for me, definitely. 100%, like not close. I love the Mew. It's Murex 100%. 100%. Easy vote for me. If someone wants to throw a poll, Murex or Mew, that would be an interesting poll. I bet it'd be close. What year was this one? This was an older one. So like, a newer one. It's like 1980. I can't quite read that. But it's in really, really great shape. And just, it writes so nice. Have you tried the Parker that has a similar style nib? Just at pen shows. I've never owned one. But I know exactly what you're talking about. And I've like messed around with them at pen shows. They're really, really good. So this is a different Murex. This one is is considered Murex for her, right? This was originally the for her edition, but it's red because they're denoting it as a slim Murex. Like this is some kind of huge gigantic pen, right? But this is the slimmer version of the Murex, which is really not that much slimmer, right? It's okay, whatever. It's like, did we really need Murex for her in this situation? I don't think so. So I use this one less because I actually do prefer the wider version, but it's just as great. Actually, if I ink one up, it'll probably be this one, just because I've used this one less frequently. What nib size is this one? I think it's a fine also. Yep, it's a fine. And this one's 1979. They have I like how they do the stamping on the back of these. Murex over Mew, 100%. 100 every time, and twice on Sundays. Poll is live. Murex or Mew? Can I vote? Yeah, or huh. That was a good job for to put in the huh. Like I think that's good. Thank you, Alan. So yeah, Susan gave me this, who used to write for the Pen Addict. She bought this one thinking she would like it, but she did not. So there you go. So both of these are on the newer side of the ledger for Murex's 1980, 1979. They go all the way back to 1971. So I will buy a 1971 model one day if I find one in good shape, just because that's when I was born. But I'm not like actively hunting them down because I'm not going to find many in better shape than the two that I have. Speaking of which, Rotring Lava. 04A, 9 months of subbing. Thank you so much. This is one of the great Rotring 600. Did they call these the 600s, or did they just call them the Rotring Lava Fountain Pen? Or did they call them the Newton? I always get the naming conventions confused on the Rotrings. This version of the Rotrings, because this one's a 600, right? It's right there on the barrel. But it's the same pen essentially. There's a few visual differences. So they actually call this one the Newton, and then the finish is called Lava. Yeah, it's great. This is one I hunted down like back in the day. I don't know how many years I've had this, a long time. And this has a medium nib. There weren't a lot of medium nib options or a lot of nib options for these pens, I don't think. But I think they did fine medium, if I'm not mistaken, just those two. Corn on the Cob, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Do you have a core? I do have a core ballpoint, yeah. Do they have core fountain pens? But you can see the sparkle in the camera here. This is a great pen. I don't use this one very much. I don't know. This one makes me nervous to use, even though when I do use it, it works flawlessly. They did extra fine. That's true. They would have done extra fine because of like all the technical pens that they had back in the day, even though extra fine was still pretty wide for a fountain pen. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Carol. I hadn't realized the Newton was so different from the 600. So yeah, like look at the cap. So we can break them down. So here's the 600. Let's start with the cap. So you can see they have this knurling on the 600 that kind of mimics the pencil style. I don't have the pencil in here to look at, but you can see how the different length of the cap on the two, and then the added knurling, and then you could twist the nib size like people like your pencil. We'll have to look and see. Oh, so I guess here's the nib sizes they offered. Oblique, double broad. The heck is L? L. What is that? Extra fine. What is it? F, M, O, M. Back to broad. What is an L nib? What is that? Is the lava rough? No. You can feel it, but it's smooth. It's essentially smooth. Thank you, Jesse. Got it cleaned off. So then the barrels. L is for lefties, but they already have an oblique one. They have an oblique one. L is for links, left in German. The nib is slightly angled to facilitate the left-hand use. So I guess the oblique would be an oblique righty nib because they have an OB one. That doesn't surprise me. Thank y'all for checking that. So L is for lefties, but they also have an oblique, which I guess would be for righties. Thank y'all for checking that. I had no idea. So here's the nibs. So 18 karat gold in the 600. This is a steel nib in, what size is this? Medium, and this is a broad, which I think got modified into a stub. We're just going through some different pens. I'm going to ink up some things here. So this one actually has an 18K nib. There you go. And a broad nib, and then I got it stub tipped, I believe. So there you go. So also knurling differences in the grip. And then they shorten the barrel, the hex barrel or the Yeah, they shortened the barrel length to accommodate the extra cap style that they wanted to have. So yeah, they're pretty different. I mean, you look at them like immediately you think they're the same, and then once you get into them a little bit, they're pretty different. So this is the 600 with the cap. I use the Newton lava more when I ink one up, but I love this style. It's a great style for these classics. And Levenger had these before in their own kind of, when they did some collaborations with Rotring back in the day. You can still find them. They're not cheap. I can't remember what I paid for, but it's probably half of what they are going for now. I bet. They just kept going up in price once people discovered just like how cool this material is. And you can get this lava finish in like the ballpoint. Do they do a roller ball? So they do a lava Newton ballpoint. You can get a multi-pin in the lava. Is it actual lava like the Homo sapiens? I don't know. I think it's just more like a treatment. You know, just like a material, like a created material type of treatment. But they just called it that for the representation of what it looked like. So yeah, it's really sparkly. It's really great. It just works so well with the whole aesthetic of the pen that they did a good job. So yeah, I know it comes in ballpoint and I know it comes in multi-pen for the lava, but I'm not sure what else. The Clicky Post used to have a full rundown of all of those. That's exactly what it looks like. It's skateboard grip tape. That is very good, but it's not as rough. You can feel it a little bit, but it's pretty smooth. All right, next up, Matthew Martin. What did he call this one? This was like one of the most basic. This was when he was at the Atlanta Pen Show for the first time. I think it was just called the One or the FP1 or something. The name was very, very straightforward. This is just a really cool, really high quality machined OG1. Okay, the OG. This was like the original titanium barrel, and I always liked the machining, just how tight the machining tolerances were on here. You can just see by the way this cap is spun. Like it's just really, really, really dope quality. Feels great to use. It's lined right here on the threading, like a plastic liner, so so there's not that scratchiness that you get in a lot of metal pens, like our spoke pens, right? It's metal on metal, right? His tolerances are as good as it gets. That's what I've always found with his stuff. Like it's consistent, right? Very consistent. So yeah, I love using this pen. I'll throw it in my pocket or whatever. I don't have, that's the only Matthew Martin one I have. I don't have like a fancy grip section one or a, crazy designs, but he does some really cool design work too. And then we have the Mr. Cypress. This is that Micarta barrel pen. I really like it. I haven't been using it much. Oh, is this thing inked up? We might have a mistake, chat. Oh no! Michael, 25 months of subbing. This pen's been in storage, inked up, chat. We did an oopsie. I never do that. I mean, I do, but I try not to. That's the second one I found in the past couple months. Let's see if it writes. Do I have a piece of paper around here? Brad is banned. That happened to me on Sunday when I went to ink my Nakaya. Whoops. Whoops. That is a party foul. That's a good way to put it. That's like the primo party foul for fountain pen people. I mean, that pen hasn't been in storage. All right, Craig and Ariana, chill. Chill for a minute, all right? Full collection check. Well, we're several pens in. Yeah, it's gonna write. I don't know what ink's in here though. Some dark blue. So yeah, there you go. We'll have to figure out what ink's in here. or clean it. Probably the latter. Really not in bad shape though for, I mean, it's got to be months without being used. So this is a fine steel nib. Some blue ink in here. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, no issues whatsoever. Crazy. All right, we're gonna leave that one out. We're not gonna count this as an ink pen. We're gonna clean that because it's gonna bother me if I don't. So there you go on that. All right, so we're gonna ink one of these. I think I'm looking at this other tray we're about to go through, deciding how many if I'm just gonna ink one over here. Probably, we'll see. All right. Which one should we ink? I already know the answer. This is a trick question. This is a trick question because I already know the answer. So you have a pen you aren't counting as ink, but it isn't clean. No, well, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it when I'm done here and go clean it. So yeah, I'm counting it as cleaned. It's not gonna be inked in like 30 minutes or an hour. L-Ups, thank you for the follow. Myth Hansen, do you have a Gravitas pen? Yes, I do have a Gravitas pen. Not in here. I have a couple. I'm actually going to be doing a Gravitas pen giveaway here pretty soon on the blog, so stay tuned for that. We have a very kind benefactor that sent me a couple of the beginners to set it up. Well, Andrew got it right out the gate. And if you're paying attention at all, you'll see the Matthew Martin didn't have a nib in it. And there were 2 nib units in here. I didn't know about people talk about pens on Twitch. Yeah, we sure do. We absolutely do. Faceted VP is probably my second choice just because it's been a while. But I'm going to hit the Matthew Martin for a couple of reasons. One, I know I have the Alt Goldgrün that I want to use. All right. Ink, it does count as inked. It does count as inked until I clean it, but I'm getting ready to clean it. It absolutely counts as inked. There was a nib I wanted to use. Carol with the gifted sub. Thank you so much, Carol. I wanted to use the Micro Architect nib in the Matthew Martin pen with the Alt Goldgrün ink. So that's like the clue game, right? Matthew Martin pen, fine Architect grind, Alt Goldgrün ink, in the Closet of Doom, basically. So Tony has one of my cursive italic nibs, so I had to go on a hunt this morning, and I think I found it, but I need to hit it with the magnifying glass to be sure. And just in case, I brought a fine cursive italic here. Oops, sorry. Which you can't see. I have no idea what you're talking about. Whatever. You have a whole entire pen of mine. So you can't really see that. But that's a fine cursive italic. You can tell like the top has been kind of sheared off a little bit, which is how you can tell. But this one, I believe, is an Architect, like a Micro Architect grind on here. But I need to look at it to be sure. But it's definitely not rounded. Like something has been done to this nib. And I think it's the one I've been looking for. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if I can show y'all this because this magnifying glass isn't that good. This loop. I don't think I could show y'all, but this is it. So yeah, it comes to a... God, I wish I could show y'all this. Let's see if I can keep the spacing right to where you can see it. You probably can't tell, but it's got a little point and it kind of points out. Yeah, so this is Bacchus. Mark Bacchus did this. So you can see how it's got a little bitty flat architecty style to it in the front. As opposed to this, if you look under, this is just a flat cursive italic, which is great on its own. Actually, this is cut more like a stub. Let's see if I can get that in there. These are both fine nibs. These are the exact same base nib. Sorry, this one's a little... These are the exact same base nib, and you can see how they're cut differently. Right? Both of these are fine Yovo steel nibs. So, Anyway, I wanted to make sure that this was the Architect nib was what I was looking for. So, we're choosing the Martin. Actually, let me put this nib back in here so I don't lose it. That is something you don't want to lose. I was just reminded I bought a pin from you at the pin show. Really? Nice. I guess we'll just fill the converter. Since this is standard international stuff. So we'll just pop these Matthew Martin pins. I think most of them are Yovo number 6 fittings, right? Maybe he has other ones, I don't know. And this is a Franklin Christoph nib that I had bought, stock nib, and had Mark Backus do a Micro Architect grind for me at a pin show. So, yeah. So you can just pop these in. That's why, I'm fine, storing this pin without a nib as long as I can keep track of my nibs. Brad, off topic, how long have you been the Pen Addict? Publicly, actively on the internet, 2007 was when the blog started. The I Hate Fountain Pens podcast was in 2012. That was episode 7, or maybe even sooner than that. And then right after that, it turned real quick. So 4 or 5 years maybe. I reviewed fountain pens, but I never got into them. And I was like, yeah, it's a fountain pen. That's cool. And then the podcast started in 2012. We had the I Hate Fountain Pens episode, which was, I'm pretty sure, single digits. I think I was in the single digits, and then I went to the Atlanta Pen Show in 2012, and bought a Vanishing Point, and that was it. So, all right, see you, Toasty Treat. Enjoy your lark. I had a few interesting moments of trying to match nibs to pins after my epic cleaning yesterday. Yeah, you got to keep track of all that stuff. So it was definitely several years. But then, my whole life, I never used fountain pens in my whole Pen Addict-y young life. Up until probably less. So it's been less than 10 years now, really, is what it is. Yeah, I remember I reviewed a Platinum Preppy early on. I reviewed a Lamy Safari early on. And it was that's fine. That's fine. I don't think not my thing. And then here we are, disassembling pins, All right, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and put the Alt Goldgrün in here so it can sit for a second, since I'm just going to ink it in the cartridge. Famous last words? Yeah. I said I said I was going to do some t-shirts this year. I still really don't have any design in mind. So see, you can just ink these up like this. But I should just do an I Hate Fountain Pens t-shirts. All right, enjoy your lark, Ryan. Oh, the Pilot Pereira is really, yes. I think the Pilot Pereira was the first one. I was like, oh, this writes like some of the gel ink pens that I'm used to writing with, right? Like the 0.5 millimeters. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, the Pilot Pereira was an early one that was really, really good. And now we're slinging ink on Twitch. All right, so we'll let this sit for a minute. Actually, a lot of times when I ink a pen, like just with the converter in the ink bottle, I'll just take it and put it in like my shirt pocket or my pants pocket, tip down, and like walk around the house and let it just kind of matriculate down the feed, if you will. So we'll get that going. I wanted the Alt Goldgrün. If you're not familiar with Alt Goldgrün, just go look up a review. I have one on my blog. There's a million reviews of Alt Goldgrün. It's a really, really interesting ink. Actually, let's do this since we have a water bottle. Bold move, tip down on a shirt pocket. I wouldn't do it all the time. So this is the It's this really funky green that you don't think you're gonna like. But it has a ton of shading. It's got a lot of yellow undertones. So I thought this might look good in like the micro architect style nib. So there you go. This is an ink that I never in a million years would have bought without other people like saying like, look, just take a leap of faith outside of the blues and blacks and whatever and buy something really weird. And this is the one that I got recommended to so many times. It's not an iron gall one. Just Scabiosa and Salix. All right, see you Schmevelin. So this is a standard ink. I remember listening to that, thinking I'd never been a fountain pens and trying a few cheap ones to no avail for a few months. When I tried a Metro, I was sold. Yeah, like the Pereira was my Metro, right? Same nib, same style. One of the first bottles of ink I ever purchased, still so good. Yeah, I agree. So you can see how this dries. It's just like, you shouldn't like this color. Like, this color shouldn't exist, but it's really, really one of the special fountain pen colors that has been around for like a decade or so. Is there something that's similar than Island Gall? I'd love a greener citrus black, but not quite forest black. I wonder if I could mix the two. I wonder if you could mix citrus black and forest black. Because citrus black isn't this green. Does KWZ have any of this color? I'm not sure they hit this color in their iron galls in KWZ inks. So yeah, this is a classic. There's no way I'll like this ink until you actually use it, and then it becomes like a favorite ink. It's got so much character that you can't even see from this dip nib. And unfortunately, you're probably not going to see it too much in this micro architect nib because it's so small. But if you go look at a review, like you go look at my review from, it's got to be 7 or 8 or 9 years old. And that's when I learned about shading in fountain pens. That's how important this ink was in my fountain pen journey. I was like, oh, what is happening here? Like the ink is 2 colors. It's called shading, Brad. You learned something today. All right. We're gonna bring out the big color box here. All right. Oops, let me move some of this stuff. All right. So let's see here. We'll go through all these. There's the Lamy, Carol, you were asking about the other day. All right, lots of fun stuff in this one. My favorite part of the cigar box is seeing Brad's brand groupings. Yeah, I do that. So there's no brand grouping in here, even though they're adjacent to each other. There is a lot of style grouping. Like there's a style grouping. You can tell the styles here, right? Right? That's done on purpose. Shocker, right? If you know me at all. Like, you mean Brad obsesses over how he lines up pens in his pen case? As a matter of fact, he does. As a matter of fact, he does. You would choose the bestseller. I have not inked up the bestseller in a while. I have an idea of what I want to do here. So, all right, let's start down here just because it's in the way. What a great pen. Like, the Diplomat Arrow is just a good pen. I don't know what to say about this. I reviewed it really, really well. The stock nibs are great. They're Yovo. They're tuned like to perfection. It just feels good. It's an all metal barrel. It's not overly heavy. The grip is smooth, but it's not slippery. I don't know what to say. If you had to take a guess, how many pens do you think you have in your collection? One day, I will count the fountain pens. Like if we're counting standard pens and all that stuff, we will not hit a number. There's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Fountain pens, I kind of would like to count because I'm sure it's more than I think I have. I would say fountain pens, how many's in one of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We probably have somewhere between 150 and 200 fountain pens, I'm guessing. Something like that. Well over 100. Probably at least 150. But I keep winding that down every year, trying to get... It's not you at all, Jesse. It's not you at all. But yeah, I'm trying to like narrow the collection more and more. But I like have 6 of these boxes, right? I have 6 of these boxes, so that's 60 pens. Then I have 2 Retro 51 trays. Those are 15 each. So that's 90 pens just in the boxes. So, and then I have some stored in pen cases too. So it's probably over 150. Probably closer to 200 now that I think about it. And I've sold, I'm going to keep selling off pens. So Jesse says, I have a mental block against the Arrow. Is it just me? Not at all, because it's cold, right? Like this is a cold German, not necessarily this pen, but you know, kind of like just a real stark metal pen design, right? And it's not for everybody. But for people who are looking for something like this, it's hard to beat what you get like at this price point for quality and comfort and usability. But yeah, it's totally not everybody's thing. I get that big time. Yeah, jelly bean jar. We'll do something if I ever count one day. Like if I ever get a bug to like officially count, I really would like to officially count just the fountain pens one day and try to get an idea. We'll do a guess. But now y'all know the range. Like at least I think that I'm in, so y'all would have a advantage. The Arrow section doesn't work for me. I get that. Like I can see that section not working for people. But like this is a wider section than the Y Studio pens that I love, which is kind of wild. So, you know, I don't mind the skinnier, narrower sections. Arrow has the most satisfying click. It is a good one. It's very consistent. All right. The Aboya. This is the Hauga model, Houga, I believe. It's just a traditional cigar shape. Really great acrylic. I think did I buy this in LA or San Francisco? I want to say I got this in LA when I first saw them there. So it's just a very basic, very cool ebonite cigar shape pen, which is just like traditionally like my favorite shape of pens, right? And this is one of the smaller models, which is why I got it, even though it's like a big pen. This is ebonite. Did I say acrylic? This is ebonite. So yeah, it's really, really great. And this is like the most basic one. You see me when I have like some of these premium pens, like the Matthew Martin, like I tend to lean towards the basic ones, right? This is a smaller shaped, smaller size, standard shape Aboya. Like that's what speaks to me. I think this is the only Bach gold nib I have, and it's really, really great. I got a cursive italic grind on here. I forget who did this grind. It's one of those things I should have tracked at the time, but I didn't. Probably Masayama, based on when I bought it and where I was, but I don't even know. So anyway, it's great. Yeah, the Arrow first pen, that's a great first pen. So there you go. Often table neighbors. This is the Stilo Art Kinpaku. So this is their Urushi over the gold leaf. It's just a beautiful, this is basically a piece of art, right? It's just Urushi lacquer over gold leaf. This is the Pilot stub nib. This is the SUTAB, the SU. Number 10 size SU. That's Pilot's stock stub nib. To be honest, they're not awesome. They're good, but like it's probably one of my least favorite Pilot nibs, but I do enjoy using it in this pen. It kind of fits this pen, but that's not a nib I would want in many pens personally. I just don't think it's that great. So you can actually switch. You can either do they'll either do pilot or sailor sections and nibs. So I've had another Stilo Art that had a that I've sold back in the day that had a sailor nib. This is my favorite part, Molly. So just on the top there. Really cool. And I love the grip sections, like very two-toned. They did a really great job on the finish. It's just super ultra high quality. So yeah, it's a beauty. And yeah, but like the idea that, hey, I can get this nib instead of like with the Aboya a Bach nib, right? You can have like this pilot or sailor nib. That's pretty cool, right? Brett, I never see you on Slack. Do you not post there? Almost never. I just don't have time to be on there. I did. I posted a little bit last night. They were people were tagging me. Gumbo Man Pat, 15 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Good to see you. So yeah, I'm not. I don't live in the Slack room. I can't. So there you have it. So yeah, like when I show up, sometimes we call it the summoning. When I'll come in and do something on the Slack. So this is the Crusac pin that I haven't fixed yet. Absentee landlord. Yeah. I gotta fix this pin. It's just a glue thing. I'll show you in just a second. But this is a great, this is like a reclaimed Antler from Ryan Crusac, which is great. Brad loves us so much. If he weren't Slack, we'd never do anything else. That's true. So this is, I got this at Baltimore 1 year when he just came out with these, and he's got a Damascus steel nib section, his nib. The problem here is this is glue, like this is like an epoxy, right? And it just needs to be re-glued in the Antler, you know, in this spot right here. So I just need to do that, or take it and have Ryan do it. But it's just comes undone when you cap it. Like, it's totally usable when you use it, but the capping part will drive you crazy if you're actively using it and don't have it glued back together. So I just got to make sure I get the right stuff to do it. Should be easy, simple fix. But yeah, I love this pen. And the Damascus section, which you don't normally see, and you can maybe see it in here, it has a little taper in it at the end, a little kick out. A lot of the Damascus sections are usually just straight cut. At least the ones that I see. So then we can't like permanently cap it because it just spins. This is one of my first custom pins that like I commissioned, right, from someone, where I got to pick out all the stuff. So this is the Newton Shinobi, which is just one of my classic designs. And I got like a smoke gray translucent with an orange translucent barrel. And, you know, I usually, when I use it, I eyedropper it. Sean also did a fine cursive italic grind on here. He did a really good job on this nib. I just keep this nib here because he did such a good job on it. I love writing with it. So I actually miss using this pen. The only problem with this pen is, so it's got a single flat side. So y'all can see it. It's hard to see when it's translucent, but it's got one flat side right here. Okay. And you have to figure out how to make it line up on the cap. Ooh, I did it first time right there. So it bugs me if I don't put it on right. So there you go. Sean's grinds don't give enough credit. My favorite nib is a VP MCI he did for me. That's true. Like, this one's really good, and this one's older too. Like, this was one when he first started doing the Shinobi custom. What's the name of this pen? I want to just call it Rock Lobster. Oh, never line up facets? Man, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I would wake up in the middle of the night in like sweats and have to get up and go fix them. Yeah, the Rockstar pen. So this is a celluloid, and it's just really cool. Red. I just bought this off of Instagram. One day he posted this. I'd never had a Rockstar. But I like the style of them, and I just like went and got it. Yeah, that red ring just sets it off, right? It just kind of works. The whole thing just kind of works together. Really neat material. Really good fit and finish on here. Then we have the black Bach. What size is this? You never know with Bach. Looks about like a fine, maybe an extra fine. Who knows? Cruella de Vil. Have y'all seen the movie Cruella? I didn't think I would like that movie, or I didn't have any interest in watching it. My wife and I just like randomly picked Cruella one night. That was a good movie. We enjoyed it. So, yeah, the Rockstar. The pen is on their webpage cover. It sold me. Like the picture of this pen, I said, I will have that one. Like I saw the picture and I messaged him. I said, I want that pen. And there you go. Brad just showed me all the pen makers that have been in my wish list this stream. Well, the next one you're not going to be happy with me about if you like the next one. Because Mr. Faggionato passed away a few years ago. And this is one of the all-time best pens. Favorite pens. I will never sell this pen. It's just really made to perfection. Papier Plume carried the Faggionato pens for a while. And I bought this from them at the Atlanta. What's up, Dev? Yo, give me a shout out to my man, that dude, Dev. He is crushing it on the Twitch of my phone. He is streamer extraordinaire, that dude, Dev. What's up? No, I'm just inking up one pen today, but we're going through a bunch of the pens. So, Mr. Faggionato passed away a few years ago, but he really did just like a knockout job. This is another celluloid pen. This orange is great. And what this isn't his design, the nib, but what this is a plated titanium Bach nib. Okay, so this is the standard Bach titanium nib on the inside, but it has the plating on here. So it's a little bit stiffer, right? But still has a lot of that flex in it. And it looks cool, even though it's plain. I was like, why is the nib plain? It's because it's plated. So it's that underneath the hood, it's the Bach titanium nib. So I thought that was a pretty cool look. So there you go. So everything about this pen is great. This will never, ever be sold. And I haven't inked it up in a while. So it needs to get inked up. Just fantabulous. Then we get into the Brooks portion of the event. This is what Slumberland Studio was asking me about last week. Philly Pen Show is this weekend. I hope y'all have fun. I'm not going to be able to make it. So this is the Urushi Lamy Safari, which is still breaks my face that this exists. Yeah, I'm not ready to travel yet. Hopefully this year, but not this week. So this is the Lilac Urushi that Mr. Brooks did just this crazy job on. What's the story of this Lamy again? So a few years ago at the Atlanta Pen Show, Mike and I were joking with Jonathan about basically doing stupid Urushi stuff. And we were like, what about a Lamy Safari Urushi? That would be amazing. And Brooks was like, well, do you have one I can take home with me and play with? And so he did. So he took home, this is the Oyster Gray Lamy Safari underneath, which is one of my favorite stories. It's kind of a unique, rare base Safari under here. So I gave him that because I had it all with me at the time, and he took it home. And then like 2 years later, he had made like 4 of these for me, Mike, and Anna, and then one for us to give away for the St. Jude raffle last year. So it's really, really good. So me, Mike, and Anna have one, and then a lovely donator to the St. Jude raffle last year won the 4th one. So there's 4 of these. He will never make any more because it was a nightmare. but he did it because he's a cool dude. Which Mike? With a Y, Mike Hurley. All right, see you, Jericho. Which was more rushable, the AL or the Safari? That's a good question. He talked about that. I don't know why I'm thinking it was the AL, but because it could be sanded. I don't know. I can't remember. All right, next up is I think Ryan called this when I opened up the case. This one's called the Bestseller. Originally was called the Bestseller as a play on Roterfaden's notebook of the same name that they just said they called the product, the Roterfaden Taschen Begleiter, one of the products, the Bestseller. Yeah, and Anna got the AL. Yep. AL was easier, but he had to completely rebuild the grip. Thank you. Y'all are smarter than me. So Brooks was like, Brooks and I were just joking around. I was like, we got to make a material that's called the Bestseller. And so he came up with this, and now it's part of the product line. As Carol says, Slumberland Studio, this is warm primary manipulation, but it will always be the Bestseller to me. I think this has a Brad face nib on it. Oh no, it's just got the Pen Addict nib. There's one of these where he etched my face into one of them. The raffle pen was an AL as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think me and Mike both gave him Safaris, and then he picked up the All Stars or AL Stars. Is Mike here? He might yell at me. I don't know which one it is still to this day. So yeah, so now you can get this. This is the warm primary manipulation that he does. But yeah, it will always be the best seller to me. These are my two Canaleas. This is the Hanama Bay, probably my favorite. Laser engraved on the nib, yeah. All Star, are you sure? Says who? Do you have any Rushi pins from Tamanuri Studios? No, but I keep looking at them. They look pretty great, don't they? So this is the Hanama Bay Canalea, which is great. I like just all the translucency, all the blue swirlies. All Star AL Sport. Are you sure? So yeah, that's my favorite. And then this is probably my second favorite. This is the Kona Cherry. I don't know what it is about this red and the translucency-ness of it. I always get the silver finials and silver nibs. And you usually go for no hardware on here. But I don't know. I'm tempted to get one with a clip next time. We'll see, just to try something different, but we'll see. So those are my two Canalea pins. So you have the best stories. That's my favorite part about this period is like it's the people you meet and the stories you can share, right? Like that's what I like having pins with stories to them, right? These are the pins that I keep, right? Like that mean the most. So I like sharing them. I like having fun with it. So this is a pin. I bought it from a website. Yeah. But like, even like back to this, like this ink has a story, right? This was like back in the day and people were saying, like recommending things. It's like, you take that stuff to heart and to me, it sticks with me. That's why I love this stuff. So second to last one called this one right here. Starbucks Hanama Bay, Haunama, Hanama Bay. Unless it's this second to last one. And this is the Stilo Art Kinpaku, Kinpaku. Alan, I saw the chaos on Chatterley and I had to buy it. Do you see the Shown Design Ultim rollerball? Yes, I did. And seeing that actually just makes me want to buy a Peak even more. So we'll see. Hey, JVK. So we'll see after Philadelphia what his inventory is like, and I might order myself a Peak. So I just don't have any desire to have that. If I'm going to get that barrel, I'm going to get it. I guess I could swap it out, right? Get the front end, swap it out. But I'm starting to talk myself into a Peak. So, all right. Do y'all want to guess which one I'm going to ink here? Peak is the only pen I kept inked. Okay, like, don't tempt me like that. It's not fair. All right, do y'all want to guess? I've already picked out. I've already decided which one I'm inking up out of this batch. Brad, do you have any Dupress resin pens? I do not, but that would be like something that would be good to test at a pen show. Crusac Arrow. Yeah, he's done the rollerball sections. He's done the rollerball sections in the Pocket Sixes, right? You can variate those things. See, we got a lot of choice in this one. Safari, bestseller, Stilo Art. So it's getting a blue ink, a bright blue ink, but I don't know in this situation if that helps you. Whoa, I didn't know you stream. I used your website review to pull the trigger on getting a vanishing point almost a decade ago. That is me, Slurpy Burglar. I like your name, Slurpy Burglar. So we're going with this bright blue ink. And like, y'all have like literally picked about every pen in here. All right, we're going with the Rockster. I haven't inked up the Rockster in a while. And honestly, I think this blue ink is gonna look killer. And like this for some reason, bright blue inks look really good in black pens to me. That's just kind of like a move that I prefer. I don't know why. Like that just jives with me. Like, of course, it's gonna look good in Hanamabe. I don't particularly. It would look good in Konichiari. I wouldn't use it here. I'd use it there, and I wouldn't use it in either of these two. But for some reason, I think it's gonna pop in here. So that's gonna be the go-to. Just because this is probably, this was based on one of his dogs, Rocky. I think this was Rocky's pen. So yeah, Rocky is a Schnauzer, I believe. Black and orange pen on the right. This is the Stilo Art Kenpaku. And it's a rushi with a gold leaf under the color you see is gold leaf, like placed and then lacquered over in different layers. So there's different levels of brightness to the gold leaf, right? Yep. If you feel less crazy, yeah. So if you go look up Rockster pens, it's named after Rocky the dog, and then this is Rocky's model that like matches his coloration. Yeah. So you were on the right track, Teeny Bird. But it's a schnauz. I'm pretty sure it's a Schnauzer. I could be wrong though. All right. Well, Molly, that's what happened to me. This is one of the. I rarely do like jam the button insta buys. This was one of them. Might be in the last one that like. Schnauzers also come in Merle. Nice. Like, I'd have to really think about it where I've just seen a pen and pushed buy, like, as quick as possible. That's not my style, right? I'm fine waiting. But I was like, this one, I don't know what it was, but it just spoke to me. So someone can go find Rocky's picture real quick. If you don't mind, that would be cool to see. Or I'll look it up in just a minute. We're going to do the same thing here. Converter. Converter ink. Converter right in the bottle. All right. It spoke to you. You got me. You got me. I've never used this ink before. I don't know if I've inked up Tasha before. I know the review crew's done a bunch of Tasha inks that have gotten good reviews. But this might be my first one. I think they generally get well reviewed. Well reviewed. Rocky is so cute. Let's see Rocky here real quick. Let me switch this camera. Then we'll do a giveaway in just a minute while I get these. There's Rocky. So this is Rocky's pen. So there you go. Miniature Schnauzer. So one of the, he usually, um, I've seen when he lists this model that he'll put Rocky's picture in there as well. Look at that. Look at that dog. Let's see, did he do it here? It's a little different material. Yeah, that's a different model pen. I don't know. I remember when I bought this, it was an older pen. I probably won't scroll through all there. Rocky. I was trying to find it, but I'm pretty sure on the one that I bought, this one had a Rocky picture in there. I'm probably just hurting your eyeballs scrolling through all this because this is just a lot of pictures. And there's, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the actual one that I bought. And he's made more of them. So like all these colors are not necessarily one-offs. They're more like examples. Is this it? Yeah, so this is actually called the Rockster. So this was the one. Oh, this has a sterling silver cap. I don't think I have that. Yeah, my cap's different, right? Yeah, I don't have the cap. So this isn't the one that I bought. Older. Are y'all dizzy yet? Good morning, Queen of Washi. What was your question, Greg? What was your question on the VP nib? Ask it again. I missed it. All right, we could spend all day looking at this. It's really great. Oh, we're getting close here. We're getting close. Still going. I'm going to keep going. More Rocky pictures. There we go. I think this is finally it. This is my signature pen. If you want to hear the story behind it and see an unboxing, then click on the link in my profile above to see Brad opening the one he bought a few weeks back. Nice. That's me. I'm Brad. That means there must be an older picture. Ink all over the nib units. And are you using cartridge or converter? So yeah, this looks like the one I bought. Yep, this is the one I bought mine off of this Instagram post right here, September 19th, 2020. This was mine. Woot. Thanks, Ash. I'm loving it. So yeah. Yeah, Greg, are you using it? Yeah, I would swap out the converter. Also, make sure you or at least the back of the converter is screwed on tight. Like some of the back of the converter gets loose, and the ink will just kind of shoot through, right? I want to say this is a fine nib or an extra fine. I'll have to look at the order. Like it's hard to tell with Bach, which I hate that they don't just like put the. That's got to be an extra fine, right? They don't mark the external of their nibs. There's usually like some type of internal marking, but I don't feel like taking it apart now. So yeah, Greg, if the ink's going through there, I'm looking at the converter first. Let's give something away. And again, like even on the pilot converters, or I guess I'm gonna show you here. If you don't mark it, you're never wrong. So this part it is unscrewable, right? And sometimes this comes loose, and it allows the air to get in here and the ink just to travel. So just you can actually like unscrew that and clean it out too, right? It's screwed on there. So just twist it, counterclockwise or whatever. Most nib units can be disassembled to clean behind the piston. Well, most of us only know that because they've had one fall apart on them at some point when they're cleaning, especially Sailor. I'm looking at you. All right, what are we giving away? I need to do the Closet of Doom cleaning so we can get more giveaway stuff. All right, we'll do this. Sailor converters are so expensive for so little. The worst. The worst. Who knew? Then I want to test this blue ink out. All right, what we'll do today. Hey, Rockster. One of these days I'll hit the right button. We'll do this Nebula, the casual note. Right, so the Nebula casual note. It's a good fountain pen friendly paper. This is Color Versus Paper brand. Settle down, Casdo. No far. Not yet. Not yet. Wait till I hit the button. So what, 120 pages, so like 60 sheets. Dot grid. Fountain pen friendly. Spiral bound. Sailor converters are better than Kaweco. That's true. That's true. Yeah, pilot. No. Okay, it's a shorter list to name a good converter. I don't know. Schmidt's like international converter's pretty good. It's better than most any name brand converter. All right, so let's give this away, and then we're gonna include the terrible Pikachu pens, which are great pens, have a swell time Pikachu, except when you use them, I just got to get rid of them, so I'm pawning them off on y'all. When you use them, you too can enjoy the barcode of usage while you're using this pen instead of the lovely and cute Pikachu. Platinum, great converter, best of the Japanese big three. I will say that. So we'll do the Nebula note, and we'll do the Pikachu pen. All right. I was so mad. There's still another one. Someone else is going to get lucky. I can really yell at Paul now that he doesn't. It does. I mean, it's the same because you just get the underside of the labeling, right? So I don't know what we're doing here. So now you too can win the most rage-inducing pen, and there's one more that I'll send to another winner down the line. All right, let me get my keyboard out. All right, giveaways. Nebula note. All right, giveaway is open. You can type !raffle for the next 2 minutes. You don't have to be a follower. You don't have to be a subscriber. You don't have to live in the United States. All you have to do is like pins. And if you're selected, you have to say, hi, I'm here in the room. And then you have to email me your shipping address. Chaps, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. So yeah, easy peasy. I can't believe we've almost been like an hour and a half. There's Paul. I can really yell at him about the those stupid Pikachu Energels like it's his fault from not even the same company. It's still his fault. Still blame him. Oh, we're giving away. Hey, thank you for the 11 months of subbing. I'm giving away this notebook, right? But I'm including the barcode Pikachu, the famous barcode Pikachu that I raged on. And I blame you. This is all your fault of why the beloved Pikachu is hidden from usage, because it's an instant. They did it for the gram, right? When you roll the pen over and it's laying on the desk, you look like that. It is a Colorverse notebook. But when you use it, look at this. Who wants to look at this? What were they thinking, Paul? What were you thinking? This is ridiculous. I'm still angry. So now I'm sending it to someone else. So I'll be less angry about it. But I still have another one. I still have another one too. So yeah, we're giving away the notebook. But we're getting, it could be fixed. You know what? It could be fixed with Pikachu washi. The pen is awesome. Like the Energel is like one of the greats. But the way they did that design was, as I like to say, garbaggio. Garbaggio. All right, let's pick a winner. Person that won is Stilva. Stilva, you're a winner. Have you won before? I think you're a first-time winner. Me too. That's why I left. Woohoo! Still was there. So email me, hello@penaddict.com. Are you a first-time winner? First-time winner? We like to keep up with our first-time winners. We're on a roll for first-time winners here. Awesome. First time. So you have to email me, hello@penaddict.com with your shipping address, and I'll get this shipped later this week. Yay, first-timers. I was going to write with the Pikachu, but I'm so mad at it, I haven't even taken off the refill nipple thing. Whatever we want to call those. Sorry. So, all right. There we go. Awesome. You still haven't won anything? You usually don't enter. You might have entered this one because you like this paper, but you consistently do not enter, so you can't win. No, you weren't banned. We must have approved that some other time because, you know, when you talk about different fountain pen parts, you say that word. All right. Make sure Pikachu stays with this notebook. 0 win club still in the house. All right, let me test out this Tasha ink, and then we'll probably wrap it up. It's not my fault you don't give away good stuff. Wow, that hurts, Tony. That really hurts. As the resident Nebula Note lover, that hurts. I'm only at 1 win, but very content with the thing I won. Did you win a Pikachu barcode pen? It's dot grid. Do you like bank paper? Did you see the those ones that I advertised on the blog this week? I got one here. I need to test the Paper Mind. But you may not. I can't remember if you're like anti-bank paper. All right, so this is Tasha. God, they don't put the name on the bottle. Well, not the name that I can read anyway. Fukaki Hanada. Fukaki Hanada. I'm anti-bank paper with fountain pens. Gotcha. All right, so this is like a bright blue. This is going to be great. That's a great color. And this is just, this is that basic Drillog white paper, like 100. I don't even know what paper weight it is, but it feels pretty good. So it doesn't show a ton of the character, but it's a nice paper. This is a great color. This is gonna go good with the Rockster. If I win next time, I'm gifting it to Tony. He doesn't enter. Don't let him tell you otherwise. He doesn't enter the giveaways. All right. Anything else we need to cover today, chat? I guess we could see if my pens are working yet. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. So that's the thing when you fill. I don't enter often because I'm already spoiled. Yeah, you got your box yesterday, right? Florida fountain pen. I'm kind of actually scared to click this. Oh, wait, a Orlando pen show? New show is coming September 8th to 10th. Who's putting this on? What is happening here? Miss G's Crafties must know. Because I saw her in the pics. Who's doing that? Who's running this? Orlando's way easier for me to get to than a South Florida Pen Club member. Gotcha. Orlando's way easier for me to get to than Miami. Cool. All right, we'll check that out. Yeah, Miami's a long haul. Yeah, for me. Cool. Very cool. All right, so the Rockstar's not writing yet. So when you ink pens, like just converter, you got to take a minute to let them go. Oh yeah, this the architect isn't writing yet, but man, it is so scratchy. When there's no ink in this, when there's no ink flowing from this architect, and you take it side by side, it's like. Are there any pen meetups groups in Atlanta? Look up Southeast Pen Collectors. Mark Bacchus used to be in that group, and I don't know if it's still going or not. So yeah, these are going to take a minute to get flowing. So maybe we'll look at those tomorrow or Thursday. All right, schedule rest of the week. We podcast tomorrow. Carol sent me an interesting email. Slumberland Studio sent me an interesting email that I'm going to tackle tomorrow if I get time, along with some Delta follow-up from last week's show. So we got that on the agenda. We have follow-up on the Sailor Custom stuff on the agenda, the Sailor Bespoke lineup. So that'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow, live and direct. Then we'll stream afterwards. We'll chit-chat afterwards on stream. And then Thursday we'll be back here. What do y'all want to do on Thursday? Thursday. Thursday maybe we do the big drill log inking and figure out what inks work well with drill logs. I gotta find space or some type of organization to get like 10 or 20 inks here on the desk and talk about pen shows on Thursday. What are we going to talk about? I don't know what to talk about on pen shows. Pen shows are awesome. Pen shows are awesome, but you should be safe if you're going to them. More collection show and tell. We still have more. We have 2 more. Like we haven't done the Nicaea box, the Franklin Christoph / Edison box. And then there's one random box, like it's got Conid, Aurora. So yeah, we'll do some more show and tells. But that means I gotta ink. I'm up to 6 ink pens now. Pen show after parties are wild. Nicaea coffee can. So yeah, we can talk more about the collection. We're gonna clean this pen so it doesn't count against me, because it does count. This counts against me until I clean it. So we got to clean that pen. I think that's it. So 6 is almost too many. 6 is like at the limit, and I only out of these 6, I think there's 1, maybe 2 to review. Like I try to have like some personal use pens that I enjoy using, but also stuff that I'm learning about for future reviews. So like the Pilot 74, I've never reviewed the Rockstar. I don't have to review it. Like I could review that, but the Pilot 74 is there for review. The other ones, I'm not sure. So 6 pens, because I know 6 pens turns into 10 for me, like that. And once I get to 10, then I really start to like get like squirrely about how many are actually inked, because I can't use that much at one time. Yeah, none of us can compete with Kimberly. New par today, first Pen Addict rating today. I've written the first draft It's about 400 words on a product that I will be giving a rating to. That's for Pen Addict members. If you want to check that out, penaddict.com/members. This is going to be a fun project. It's going to be nice to see in like 6 months from now, like what the bulk of the ratings look like. So 6 pins, none the richer. Exactly. Oh, thank you, Slumberland Studio. Appreciate you. I need to try my weighted blanket. Yeah. I've been sleeping good again though. Like I said, I'm a good sleeper. I just had this 2 or 3 night run that wasn't good. Cedrus Corvid, quick question. I want to get one of those Twisby 18 milliliter ink bottles, but can't decide on the color. What should I get? You should get grape. That's my favorite of the new batch. Grape, then orange. That's probably 1-2 for me. I think grape's pretty easily number 1 because it's a weird color. It's like grape juice, watered down grape juice, which sounds terrible, but it actually works as a fountain pen color. Who here is going to the Philly Pen Show? Are you going, Bruce? I think you said you were going. Whatever ink I have in this Mr. Cypress pen is like very sheeny. Kimberly's going. Yeah. And that's why I picked that one, Cedrus, because most of the other ones are normal, you know, green, blue, red, you know, some of that stuff. It's going to be my first pen show ever. Nice. I hope you have a good time. So that's why grape is at least interesting. So Mike and Kimberly are sharing a table at Philly. So y'all go say hi to them and take some selfies with them and send them to me. All right. I'm going to jump, gang. Let's see if there's anyone we can raid today. I've been doing a poor job raiding. I need to we need to see if anyone's doing some cool stationary stuff. I like sending y'all to my gamer friends every now and then, but I definitely would like to I definitely prefer to send you to the stationary ones and see what we're doing. Let me put that on mute. So let's see what we got here. Hey, Sloogie, love from Chile. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching and hanging out. Thank you so much. Yeah, the stream's ending. We've been about an hour and a half, and I gotta take care of some stuff. Sorry, but yeah, I stream 10 a.m. Eastern time, my time, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and around 11:30 or noon on Wednesdays. But thank you for the follow. You will be turn on alerts, and you will be alerted when I go live. We need to get more stationary peeps in here, in the makers and crafting. Lots of cool stuff. But I want to send you some stationary pizza. Stationary people. Like Simarchy's on, but they're playing Stardew Valley, which is great. Keyboards. I don't know. Y'all got any suggestions? Let's go check out art. Just bought a new retro. What does this one look like? Oh, that's cool. NASA Space Shuttle. Sorry, y'all are all probably leaving by now. That's fine. I'm just messing around, seeing if there is a... I'm going over the art stream. The first thing I see is anime butts, which, you know, nothing wrong with anime butts. I'm just not going to send y'all that direction. And all my art streamer friends stream at night. All right, here's what I'm going to do today, chat. I'm going to do Stardew Valley. We'll go see Simarchy then. And what I'll do today is I'm going to go through and follow a bunch of people so I can watch them so I'm comfortable sending y'all to them. So let's go see Stardew Valley. We haven't raided Simarchy in a while anyway. So let's go raid them and see what they're doing in Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley's so chill. I should probably start streaming Stardew Valley again. I probably need to like redo my farm. Like I got pretty far into mine. So, all right, y'all guys say hi. See what Simarchy's up to, and y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.